Good morning and welcome to Bboxx. I'll give you a quick tour of our team and our office, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Yes, so this is our front desk. So usually this office is providing our support for all our operations, which are heavily in the districts and in the rural areas of Rwanda. So everyone you see here is providing support to make sure that the districts, our remote team are supported and our customers are supported.
Okay.
And most of our customers are in rural areas.
Okay.
So this space here is for heavily supportive team using technology, using all different tools to make life easier for the customers on the ground.
So do you have field offices?
Yes, so we have 24 locations and all retail locations in Rwanda, and each one of those we have more than 5 full-time staff. So actually the biggest percentage of our team is outside of Kigali and in the district and serving rural communities.
Because you're off-grid?
Yes, we are off-grid and we are providing electricity to those who are not close to the grid. So our business is in the villages.
Okay, what about this?
Yeah, so this is just a demonstration of our product evolution.
Yes.
Our mission remains we're driven to unlock potential and to transforming lives. But to do so, we use technology. So our technology has evolved. If you move on to like this, we've started with certain versions of products that have gone on to evolve. And the Bpower 50 and the Bpower 20, these are our most latest products that will give different customer experience, where a customer can put a 24-inch screen, a subwoofer, a shaver.
Wow.
And this one is maybe for customers who just want basic lights, phone charging, and all those basic services.
Okay. Where do you benchmark this technology?
Yeah, so our technology is designed in the UK.
Okay.
And obviously the whole supply chain, it's sourced in China. But actually, everything is done in the market. All the testing, the customer requirements, what they need is done in the market. So we are lucky that Bboxx also has an Africa regional office based in Kigali.
Oh, okay.
So that brings our design and product development teams close to our customers and designing products that are suitable and tested with customers.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to show you the call center.
Okay.
You see, we like to see ourselves as a next generation utility. People usually see solar as selling solar home systems. That's not actually true if you're doing electrification. If you're doing electrification, you are ensuring that people have continuous access to electricity. And to do that, we have to build support systems in the background where people will get service and continuous service. So welcome to our call center. So this is, thank you. So this is our team that is managing, so we've connected over 130,000 households in Rwanda.
In how long?
In a period of 6.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a team that is predominantly supporting, providing technical support, customer service support, payment support, all kinds of things. We have about a team of 30 that runs in 3 shifts until 10:30 p.m. So our customers know that they can reach us, they can find us. If they have an issue, they know where to find us.
Issues like what? Breakdown of the system?
Yeah, so
payment?
Basic things, payment, understanding of using the system. So they're providing education, they're providing some basic information, they're providing explanations to their contract, and they're providing other information that customers want. If I want a TV in the future, what do I do? Okay. If I have an issue, where do I go? I can't turn on my system. So this team here is actually able to troubleshoot remotely most of the issues. With our technology, we access every single unit and we know which unit belongs to which customer.
Really?
Yeah, so they will do a lot of the troubleshooting remotely and they're able to solve most of the technical issues with the customer. Should that not be the case, then our customer is advised to go to their nearest shop, and then they will get a swap for a system that works, and that system comes to our repair center. Yeah, so to be able to claim that we are really an off-grid utility, we need this team. And we need the team that you will see later, which is the repair team, our repair technicians, which is handling the return products.
I think I like this whole model, because when you look at other suppliers in the market of off-grid solutions, it's about the equipment, it's about giving the user the equipment, and we know the kind of people that we target. First case they get problems that they don't have that after-sales support. I think it's a very nice model.
Yeah, thanks.
So what is this?
So these are the dashboards for the team here. So usually the supervisor will have a dashboard. You can see the different names. You can see whether their line is active and not active.
These are names of customers?
These are names of the team here.
The team here, okay.
On duty. And the supervisor will use this screen to see who is busy, who is not busy. And sometimes they can divert actions to the person who is less busy. Usually the system is doing it automatically, but should there be any need to manually assign a task, you can also use this board. So this is to test, this is to have visibility of what's going on in a shift. Like I said, we have 3 shifts, so the management is actually intense because they work in a specific period of time and they have specific tasks to execute in that period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And usually they also use this screen to see some other KPIs on their performance, and the good things that they have done or the impact that they have made to the customers. So that's the purpose of that.
You can also retrieve reports.
Yeah, we have automated reports on the screen, and once they want to show them reports, they can also put them on this.
And that inform your interventions.
Most of the reports that they will see, they will use them maybe in their daily meetings. Yes, we have live reports, but the call center is not using the live reports. That's mainly used by people on the field and the support team here.
We've had Bboxx in other countries.
Yeah.
In how many African countries are we talking about?
So we are active in over 10 countries now, but specifically
Sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically in the region, we have really big operations in DRC, in the Eastern DRC, and very soon expanding to the rest of DRC. We have big operations in Kenya, and then we have operations in West Africa, Togo, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Mali, Guinea, Senegal. So those are some of the countries that Bboxx is operating. Yeah, so like I said, the biggest number of our teams are on the field.
Yes.
So we have a total of 200 full-time staff.
200?
200.
All Rwanda?
Yes, all Rwanda. I think we have, out of the 200, we have 2 non-Rwandans.
Okay.
Predominantly Rwandans. And we also have 300 agents. These are contractors with us, but they work for us full-time. So we are talking about 500 people. And to support those people and to make sure that they're doing the right job to support their teams, and this is why we have this team that sits here. It's usually analysts, trainers,
fancy finance team,
finance, retail, portfolio analysis, understanding how customers are performing, HR to manage staff relations and their well-being. So as you can see, this is relatively a smaller team compared to our to our real staff base. So the guys here, their main role is to make sure that they support the team on the field, because the team on the field is the one that has the direct relationship with the customer. And our job is to make sure that the customer has an on-grid experience. Even though they are off-grid, they shouldn't have to worry about so many things. Will the product work? They should just go home, switch on, switch off, charge my phone, turn on my TV, turn off, my kids are revising. That's what customers care about.
Absolutely.
And our role is to make sure they have that.
Well, what would you say is your response time if a facility has got issues? How long will it take you to? I think that's what the customer is interested in.
So like I said, we use technology a lot. So actually most of the issues, we are able to see them before the customer sees them. So we are able to fix them before the customer fixes them. We have alerts that are generated in our system, and they will be picked by the team in the call center or the team in the repair center or some of the support team here, depending on the kind of the alert.
All right.
So we are able to fix so many issues before customers even realize they have an issue.
Yes, okay.
And should an issue arise, then the customers can call us, and that will take anything between 1 minute and 10 minutes, depending on the issue.
All right.
Should the issue need human intervention, then either we can send our technician to the customer, or the customer will come to our shop. And when the customer comes to our shop, we don't spend a lot of time for them waiting for repair. We give them a unit that works,
Okay.
and we take one that doesn't work, and that's dealt with after.
So for Rwanda, we are talking of 5 provinces, 30 districts. So talking of the network, how many field offices are we talking about?
Yeah, so we have 24. Like I said, we are providing rural electrification mainly. That's been our core focus.
Rural.
Very soon we'll be in clean cooking, and we'll be able to address also urban populations. So I would say that mostly all the districts are covered. Yes. The key districts of Kigali are not really our priority. We are of course serving some parts of rural Gasabo, but that's it. Most of our operations are rural, so we are talking about possibly all the districts. I think the district where we don't have a field office, I think, is Bugarama and Rutsiro at the moment.
Okay.
Most of the other districts, we are covering them.
All right. I think we get to this point where we get to discuss some of the pertinent issues when it comes to off-grid. And you're one of the biggest, players when it comes to providers of off-grid solutions. And you also see ambitious targets by the government when it comes to off-grid. Looking at the numbers, the targets by 2024. What's your experience when it comes to this off-grid?
Yeah. No, first of all, I must say that Rwanda was the main pioneer actually in terms of policy by saying we will make off-grid as part of our electricity mix. And given the cost of electrification and extending the grid and servicing it, they looked at the least cost methods and the speed, and they said off-grid will provide 48% of electrification. So for me, that was a bold leadership strategic direction. So definitely, this being a new industry, the pace in the early years has not been as exciting. Some of the issues, circled around access to finance for most of these private developers or private companies, bringing in the technologies in forms of equity, in forms of debt.
And that is where someone needs to know how you played it, because every player is complaining about that. The financials are very skeptical about the off-grids. So how did you overcome that hurdle?
I think Bboxx actually, this is, of course it's not been easy, but this is one area that we have been successful. Luckily, we've managed to get some investors that understand the vision that we are driving, that have taken the time to see what we are doing. Given that we are also using technology, we also have data. So they've put lots of questions on the table, but they've looked at the data, and this has given them the hope that actually this is an investment that is worth making. So on that front, of course, the timing has not been as was desired, but actually we've been successful in raising both equity and debt. And this is
talking of debt. Is it local? Is it international?
So this is what has enabled us to scale in Rwanda. So for debt, of course, at the very start, it was very difficult to raise local debt. So most of the debt we had in the early stages was international. But actually, very recently, we've managed to raise local debt thanks to the work that the government of Rwanda is doing with the World Bank, and they put a renewable energy fund that is being administered by BRD. And we've been able to access debt through that fund. So this, like I said, it's been a big challenge, but actually we are seeing the light. We are at a stage where we can access debt at a bank that is, 5 kilometers from our office.
Yes.
And this has never happened before.
I know.
Yeah.
So, talking of debt, in relation with the business, the finance model, most of the players actually find it a challenge. At what cost does this end user buy the equipment, and how affordable? How have you managed to play around with the financial model?
Yeah,
business model.
Yeah, so two things. I mean, like I said, solar as a technology has existed for so many years. Probably by the time I was born, it was there. So it's not new. So the trick is, how do you use this technology to electrify people that are relatively poor in developing economies?
Yes.
So,
but at what cost?
Yeah, it is very difficult, and it's not easy. But some of the things that you will see that are common in the models, and that what we are doing is financing the customer. What does this mean? It means that the customer does not have to buy, and that's why I kept saying we see ourselves as a utility, and a next generation utility, not a traditional utility. The customer they are spending on energy anyway, whether they're buying candles, whether they're buying batteries for their radio, whether they are sending their phone to charge. So the trick is to get that which they are spending and to give them a solution that is much better than what they have. Interestingly, actually, customers are willing to pay more than their current spending on energy to get this experience. So that's why we have long-term contracts.
Maybe to the viewer needs to understand that really well.
Yeah.
The utility bit of it.
Yeah.
So what is that business model of Bboxx?
Yeah.
So a customer doesn't have to buy the equipment. He only pays for the utility. Yeah. Maybe you could break that down.
Yeah. So
other players sell the whole kit too.
Exactly.
Yes, and it's quite expensive for them.
Yeah. So for the customer, all they need, in our case, they pay a down payment, which is like signing up with us. Yep. The down payment, it will always depend on their package, but this is less than 20,000 Rwandan francs, or $20.
Okay.
So once they put down a down payment, we will come and install, and they will get 1 month of lighting. After that, we have a pay-as-you-go model. So similar to your cash power at home, if you have 1,000, you will pay 1,000. And depending on your package, it will either give you 1 week or 2 weeks. If you have 5,000, you will pay 5,000. And depending on your package, that could give you 1 month or 2 weeks if you have an expensive package. So this pay-as-you-go model allows the customer flexibility of payment. What we are doing to enable that is because we have secured debt to buy this unit, and we have given it to the customer, and we will pay this unit over time, and we are extending that to the customer. So we are actually providing a loan to the customer. We are financing the customer. But this is why we need strong partnerships with lenders.
Would you consider that as a pure debt or kind of a subsidy?
No.
Grant?
No, we are not. We are not in the business of providing grants. We are.
No, I mean what you're getting from BELD.
So it's two things. What's coming from BRD? We are getting a loan.
Yes.
So this is what they're calling window 4.
Yes.
And I will also talk about the grant part. So I was just explaining the model. The model is that we give the customer pays for 3 years or for 4 years, depending on how well they are paying. And after that, we offer them an option to stay with us and pay a service fee, or to upgrade and get other services. For example, customers don't start with a TV, and maybe after 3 years they're like, oh, I would like to have a TV. They don't start with a subwoofer, and they would like to have a subwoofer. They would like to have a shaver. They would like to have a radio or a new version of a radio. So we offer them chances to upgrade. Yeah. And in effect, they pay us over time, and that's how we are able to pay our debt. So we really need our lenders to understand our model. And for the lenders that have provided
that's
us
what the problem is,
with debt,
because of, yes,
they have shown interest in understanding the business models and the impact that we are creating.
Yep.
And the technology, the enablers that we have to show that this is sustainable.
Yep.
once they get this trust, that's how we get the money. So I would like to come to what you mentioned from BRD, which is Window 5.
Grand.
Now, in terms of other issues, of course, yes, we have provided that financing to the customer, but it's still not good enough. You know? It's still good for the wealthy in rural areas. You know, the farther you go down, even if you do that, people will still not afford it. So it's still expensive because you are providing product that is made far away from Rwanda, that has come on the sea, come from the port. That's all a cost. And has been transported from here to the rural area. So that's all a cost. So for the customer to pay that over time, it's, you know, not everyone can afford it. So this is one of the issues that we raised, and we said, okay, despite all of this, there is still an affordability issue. And again, I'm also happy with the progress that has been made with our discussions with the government and the different partners, that we have been able to secure subsidy for end customers. And the way that the Rwanda government has structured it, you get subsidy depending on your socio-economic status, which they call Ubudehe. So if you're in Ubudehe 1, which means you need the most help, you get a higher subsidy. If you're in Ubudehe 2, you get a moderate subsidy, and if you're in Ubudehe 3, you get a small subsidy. So with this, that has also enabled us, so yes, now this time the customer's payment is reduced depending on the subsidy that they are receiving. So this also helps to accelerate electrification. It's important to note that, you know, every customer on the grid is heavily subsidized. So
I want you to,
that's one thing.
I want you to emphasize that.
Yeah, but people,
because that's what other providers are grappling with.
Yeah, exactly, because sometimes we've been unfairly compared.
And most of them have closed shop actually.
Exactly. So sometimes we've been unfairly compared to the grid and all of this. I still think off-grid is going to be fast. I still think it's economical,
sustainable,
and sustainable.
And it's green.
And definitely it's green. Thanks for bringing that out. So for sure, the subsidy required by an off-grid customer is probably less than 20% or about 20% of the subsidy that is required for a grid customer.
So I want you to look into that camera and assure the government, because in our interactions with government and the development partners, World Bank and so on, they are counting on you so much. All the targets, the off-grid targets, they are counting on Bboxx. It seems you're getting it right, what has been challenging most of the providers of grid. So in terms of target, what contribution can you assure development partners and government?
Thanks for that question. So I must say, let's remember that not a very long time ago, I think 2009, Rwanda's electrification was just over 6%. So Bboxx alone today has contributed above that in terms of electrifying a nation. Now, in my view, with the hurdles that we have faced, which we discussed, which is access to financing, access to subsidies, we've been introducing new products and improving our technology. I think that we are ready to make a significant contribution in the next 2.5 years until end of 2024. So I would like to give assurances to government, to Rwandans, and to different partners that they can actually count on us, that we should continue our working together, and the 48% target that has been made, I mean, from a Bboxx perspective, ourselves, we are ready to make just over half of that within the next 2.5 years. If the right support, the right level of engagement, and the right working relationship that we have had continues, we believe that we've crossed the hardest hurdles, and we are ready to accelerate even faster.
I can introduce you to my team. So this is the administration team. She's called Nadesh. She's called Grace. So like you see, these ladies, they do help us in receiving documents from the shops, such as contracts, installation reports, repossession reports. So when they do receive them, in a weekly basis via the logistics trucks that do help us the revealing of the contracts, the units from the shops. So when they receive them, they do the cross checks, double checks to ensure that everything that is necessary to be filled on the documents is perfect. Then they do the scanning. After scanning, they do upload the documents in our system called ERP. Yeah. Then from there, they do the filing. So we also have a local supplier called RIM, yeah, to help us do the storage. Since we do receive bulky contracts, bulky installation reports, and so on, we don't have enough storage space, like you can see. So we contracted with that local supplier to help us do the bulk storage of these documents and actually the proper filing as well. Basically, when we talk about logistics at Bboxx, it starts with the report. The report is called the stock out prediction report that helps us in determining the stock levels available at the moment. When are we supposed to make orders? When are we supposed to do the replenishment? So basically, China helps us in doing this as long as supply chain. So supply chain is the coordinator that helps us to link our requests to China.
So the technology is UK based, and the suppliers
and the manufacturing process, yeah, is based in China.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you see, this is the report. This is the structure, the whole map of what happens in the logistics department. From the report that we submit to supply chain to China to verify the replenishment products that we need, manufacturing, inspection process. Like you can see here, the lead time to manufacture the products that we need takes 5 weeks, plus inspection 10 days. Then shipment from China, the port, all the way to the Dar es Salaam port, it takes 9 days.
To get out of the port?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then
It takes 3 days to get here, inland?
Inland transport, yeah. 3 days to the Dubai port.
Okay.
Dubai port nearby here.
DP World.
The DP World, yeah. So from
It takes you 9 days to get them out of?
From the DP World all the way to the DC here. So normally the processes are offloading, arrival notice, customs clearance and tax payments, getting the verification and the release from the customs, and then loading the container all the way here.
So we are basically talking about a month of the whole supply chain?
No. A month is the period of manufacturing, then to ship from China to Dubai to Dar es Salaam port takes 9 days. Then from there to here, 9 days. From DP World to here, 9 days. So it's roughly like 2 months. 2 months, yeah.
But you normally have minimum order levels, so you don't get out of stock.
Yeah, we don't get out of stock. So like you can see, this is our warehouse. Yeah. So these are some of the products. These are lights. These are the control units.
The bulbs?
The bulbs, yeah. Yeah. These are the CUs. They are called Bboxx Home. The bigger ones that we have at the moment. So those are the solar panels. Yeah, over there. Yeah, the labels. Yeah, the shades. Yeah, exactly. So on the
all manufactured in China.
Yeah, but then on the TV areas, we do order locally. Yeah, we have start times and they have a good quality of TV areas. So there's no need of ordering from China. It's too much expensive. So we prefer ordering it from here. So when we receive the CUs, we need to act. Oh, the control units.
Okay.
Yeah, the control units with the battery. So we need to activate it to ensure that it is really functioning well.
It's configured with the head office.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's the CU that does it.
Yeah. So here it's the activation process and charging it to see if it's really charging well. So from here, this is the activation process. From the activation process, we allocate it here ready for delivery. So from the activation space, we station them here. Then the truck driver, these guys will help loading the truck and all the way to the shops. Yeah. So this is the stock for sale, main stock for sale. So then, like they explain in the repair center, we have some faulty products that come in. So when the repair center repair it, and then the product is okay and ready to go back to the client, that's what they call the refurbished products. After refurbishing, they bring them here. So like you see these TVs, these are TVs that had some faulty product, some faulty parts. So they repaired them. When they discover that they are okay and ready to go to the client, we received them from here. And from here, they are also loaded to the truck. Also, not the TVs, we also have CUs, the control units I've been talking about.
What you call
Refurbished products, exactly. So among the refurbished products, we also have the control units. Yeah, exactly. So this is what they call the Bboxx home unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once it gets faulty?
Once it's faulty, at times they do even the tampering. The tampering, that's when they are the users. They unlock this component and then they try to mend or something. Yeah, the wires connect, something like that. It's called tampering. That's what we call it here.
The whole office, you can detect that.
Yeah, they detected that and they immediately call.
Okay.
Yeah, we found out that you're doing some tampering. Why are you doing that? It's illegal, and you know, things like those. Yeah. So those are the issues that we do receive from clients, even draining the battery, overlighting. Yeah. So when they are faulty, they are brought here, repaired. When it's not worth working, they dispose it. Yeah, but still we'll need to
give the client.
We still, yeah, exactly.
And here is a repair center, which I am the supervisor. So basically, this room which I'm showing you is a room which is responsible for spares and all products that are faulty, which are coming from shops. So this is the main entrance of our repair center. So these people are our logistics officer. This is Gaetan. This is Flora. So basically, these people are the ones who day-to-day deals with all products that we receive from shops and even spares which we receive from China. Yes. Yes. So each product that we receive here is we receive them physically and also systematically. So systematically, we have software that we use to receive all of those products. So those come in China and those that come from shops. So those that come from China, we receive them in system which we call Pulse. And within Pulse, there is also a tool which we call delivery tool. So that delivery tool, we receive all products that are coming from shops. This room, mainly its role is for repairs. So we have 2 workstations. So the first workstations is for the people who are working on units. And the units is the main product of the company. This is an open unit. So our unit has 2 main parts. There is a PCB and the battery. So each technician here has his own account. So he has to enter in his own account just to do some repairs. So each technician has to perform his own workstation. So we have here 4 workstations to work on unit for it to be able to be used by the client. So once the unit passes all 4 workstations, that unit, we trust that unit can have some days at the client working very well as expected. So we have different tools that determine that the unit is working as we want.
Okay. As the supervisor, how many boxes do you repair?
each workstation has its own targets. So yes, for example, on workstation 1, we have 90 CUs. 90 CUs. So actually, workstation 1 deals with basic inspection. He just have to check the outer physical appearance. He doesn't go inside the unit. He doesn't open it. So on workstation 2, the technician is responsible to check the internal failures that the unit may have. And that internal inspection is for PCB. So you just have to check if the PCB has some physical parts. If it doesn't, for example, have those failures, we have another tool which we call test jig. So that tool is responsible of checking the internal failures, the failures which are not seen, that are not physically seen. So this is the test jig. So we use it when we are testing PCBs. So that is workstation 2, and workstation 3 is for people who are working on batteries. Basically, our battery has normal standards, specifications. So we have our battery has to have 12 volts, and the capacity, which is yes, on batteries. That is workstation 3. So let's say if I'm testing my unit and I find it not having good capacity. The battery may have a good capacity, may have a good voltage but not have a good capacity. So we have another location which tests the capacity, which we call it MBT. We just put a USB load. So this USB load will discharge the battery. So after discharging, we have this system called MBT. Will determine if the battery still have more life cycles, if it can be resent to the client and spends so many days. So if it fails this MBT test, the battery test, we'll send them back to workstation 3, where we replace them with new batteries. So that is the 4th workstation. We charge the battery fully, and we have our engineers over there who are responsible of registering and checking if our unit is connected. So our unit, we have a tool which we call Smart Solar. Within Smart Solar, you can go there and see all parts replaced, connectivity of the CU, how many days the CU have been to the client, how many days the CU have been brought here in repair center. So all processes, you can check them at 4th workstation.
Maybe can you explain to us about that system, Bboxx system?
Yeah, that system, yes. Yeah, sure. Actually, that system, we call it IRT. As I was saying, the company is using Pulse. Yes, Pulse is the main system. So within Pulse, each department has a tool which is embedded inside the Pulse. So we have IRT, that is IRT, the integrated repair tool, that is only for repair technician. So we have technicians who are engineers. All of them are coming from universities. They are engineers, bachelor's holders. So each technician has account within IRT. So that's within IRT. You can go there and see each technician's performances, each repairs that he has been doing over the past months. This is BRIM machines. So all the batteries that we replace, the 40 ones, so we bring them to these machines just to recover them. So they are responsible of boosting up their capacity and their normal voltages. So we do not dispose our batteries directly. So we just put them on these machines, and we only dispose the batteries that have some physical damages, that have some linkage. So those are only the batteries that we dispose. So we have the company which is responsible of all recycles, which we call it, it is called EnviroServe. So they are the ones who are responsible to collect all the recycles. Yes, so they do not take only batteries. They just take every spare which is 40, which is no longer used. These are backup. So this backup, we use them normally when the power is not around. So when the power is cut off, this backup, they just support, yes, they just support this BRI machine, because when the power goes out, so even the process stops. As I was saying, this is the last process within repair center. So this is normally the fourth workstation. We have 2 people here who work on all of that processes. So they just register each unit, and for example, if they find any unit which is not well cleaned, so we have people here, our casual workers, who are responsible of cleaning the outer casings. These are our engineers. This is Eddie, this is Epaphroditte. So they are the ones who work on the 4th workstations. They just register each unit that every technician has come to repair. So as I was saying, they just deal with connectivity and all the performances of the batteries. So after doing all of the registrations, they just put all CUs that have covered all workstations to this charge 2 to make sure the battery is fully charged. So, and each unit we have come to repair, as I was saying here, whatever we do in a repair center.
This is like final verification after
the
repair.
Yes.
For batteries.
For batteries, even
CU,
PCB.
and the control units.
Yes, yes.
These are the engineers.
Yes, these are engineers. They just control all quality check. Yes. Actually, I can say that 4th workstation is for quality check. After all processes that we conduct here in a repair center, each spare, each product has an end of life. An end of life, which means each spare, which is 40, we have a company which is responsible to take that product or that spare which is 40. So we have that location which covers all of those products. That location is called disposal location, which is also embedded in that systems I was saying called PAS. So we have batteries, we have casings. Normally casings we dispose are demerged. We have for appliances, screens, even antennas that are 40. So even those dust bins, they collect all, some cables, 40 USBs. So this is actually the location for disposals. Yeah. So EnviroServe is the company which is responsible of taking all of these disposals on monthly basis.
Mu kazi kawe ka buri munsi dusanze unarimo uyu munsi uri gukora, dusanze ukoresha uburyo bw'imirasire ukorana na Bboxx. Ni gute ukorana na Bboxx uyu munsi wa none?
Bboxx dukorana neza kuko na bampaye batiri n'umurasire w'izuba afata umuriro nubwo mfite umuriro w'amashanyarazi usanzwe uyu muriro ndawukenera mu gihe umuriro ugiye.
Hari umuntu wakumva uburyo ukorana na Bboxx agashaka kumenya uyu munsi wa none iterambere umaze kugeraho bitewe no gukoresha no kuba ukorana na Bboxx, ni iyihe ndorerwamo watanga uyu munsi wa none ushobora ku buryo buri muntu wese yumva akamaro ko kuba ukorana na Bboxx n'iri iterambere umaze kugeraho?
Bboxx ifite iterambere ryiza cyane 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 ahantu hataragera umuriro utaragera, nubwo hano muri ijana dufite umuriro ariko ukunda gucikagurika. Hari igihe umuriro wagiye washujemo se ugakoresha Bboxx. Ni bigize ku banyarwanda iterambere ryiza kuko aho umuriro utaragera n'abatarayifata ahubwo bakwiye kuyifata kugira ngo iwabo bashobore kubacanira hagaragare neza.
Hari uburyo abantu bakorana na Bboxx cyangwa se abantu bamaze kubona ibi bikoresho bituruka muri Bboxx bakwiriye kubifata, aho umuntu bashobora kumusobanurira ati bikoreshwa gutya ugasanga yabikoreshe mu buryo bunyuranye, bo n'ubuhe butumwa ubaha?
Bakwiye kujya Bboxx ikuzaniye ibikoresho ikugira inama ikuzajya ibikoresho, bakwiye gukurikiza inama rero Bboxx yabagiriye kugira ngo byo kwangirika. Batiri ukayishyira ahantu itanyagirwa, umurasire w'izuba ukaba hejuru y'inzu, naho ugacungana na batiri yawe n'amatara yawe, kuko batiri igiye ahantu hanyagirwa nanone ntabwo byaba ari byiza.
Hari abantu bakigira impungenge zo kuba bafata uyu muriro, bavuga bati twacomekaho telefone tukareba televiziyo tukagira ibiki, wabamara impungenge ki?
Ngiye kubera ko ntabwo ndabikoresha ibyo, mfite umuriro usanzwe n'ukoresha televiziyo, ariko icyo ikigaragara cyo ni uko umuriro wa Bboxx ushobora gukoresha ibikorwa byose. Amatara, gucana amatara, kureba televiziyo, gusharija telefone, byose
urabikora neza. Ubu mumaze kugera ku iterambere kubera Bboxx.
Rwose.
Ubutumwa buke waha mu magambo make, ubutumwa waha abanyarwanda nabo kugira ngo bakangukire gukoresha uyu muriro, nicyo bababwira?
Abanyarwanda benshi bashobora kuba bataramenya Bboxx, abatarabimenya ndabakangurira ko bayigana kuko itanga serivisi nziza. Ni ibintu byo kwishyura wishyura neza, niyo ukeneye kwishyura babikubwira bakakumenyesha. Utyo nabwira rero abataramenya Bboxx bayigane bayikoreshe, ni nziza kandi itanga ibikoresho byabo ku giciro cyiza, kandi ikugira inama bagira ikibazo bakagusura igihe ubishakiye, bakakorera reparation entretien igihe cyose washaka.
Aha turi ni mu mujyi wa Kigali mu karere ka Gasabo mu murenge wa Jabana. Uyu munsi ubona ari izihe mpinduka ku muryango wawe muri rusange?
Impinduka nyine zo zirahari cyane nyine, kuko nakubwiye ko niyo abana bavuye kwiga nyine n'ubundi na nijoro bakomeza amasomo yabo,
barongera bagasubiramo. N'ubuhe butumwa waha abanyarwanda muri rusange noneho kugira ngo hari abantu bakivuga ngo ntabwo turabona umuriro w'amashanyarazi nturatugeraho, bakaguma kwicara kandi hari uburyo bashobora gukorana na Bboxx nabo bagacana nk'uko nawe wabigenje, n'iki wababwira?
Ikintu numva nababwira ni ugutinyuka n'ubundi bagakorana na Bboxx, nubwo ayo mafaranga tuvuga twishyura buri kwezi barabyoroheje, babishyize mu byiciro, ushobora kwishyura mu cyumweru cyangwa se ukishyura na buri munsi, bitavuze ngo uzaterurira ngo yandi y'ukwezi ngo yishyurire rimwe. Njye numva nta kintu bintwaye, kandi n'uwabijyamo wese ntacyo byamutwara. Nanjye mbifata nari mfite ubwoba, ariko ubwoba bwarashize.
Kuri wowe nabihendutse nta kintu
bintwaye,
ubwoba bwarashize.